Earlier this week, we learned that Emera Incorporated signed a deal to sell its Maine operations to Calgary's Enmax Corporation. Under the deal, Enmax will pay $1.29 billion plus assume roughly $500 million in debt. It is trying to expand its North American regulated utility operations. This deal is expected to close late this year, subject to conditions and regulatory approvals. Danielle Smith from Global News Radio 770 CHQR joins us this morning to continue this conversation. Danielle, I got to be honest, I don't know too much about this deal, but I know you're taking a deeper dive on your show this morning.
Well, we are. I think the reason it raised eyebrows is because it's caused an downgrading of Enmax's debt borrowing. So when you get a downgrade, you end up having to pay more for your outstanding debt. But this is why it's a bit of a weird story, is because normally when you're purchasing a utility, sometimes you mix it up. So you have a portion debt and a portion equity, so you float shares. But because Enmax is wholly owned by the city of Calgary, it's the only shareholder, all they can do is finance these purchases through debt. So that's part of the reason why. But I guess that's the question, is why is a wholly owned Crown corporation of the city of Calgary buying assets in Maine? Is this unusual? Epcor's already gone this route, although they've stayed a little bit closer to home by being in Texas and New Mexico. So why is it that Enmax has felt the need to do this? We're going to try to talk it through today. And maybe the bigger question we have to ask is, maybe it's time to privatize Enmax. If they want to go off and be an independent company that is providing electrical services throughout North America, does it really still need to be city-owned? That's one side. The other side is, if it makes it more profitable, it generates more dividends that go to the Calgary taxpayers, and so maybe it's a good deal. So we're going to see if we can sort through that today.
As the average Calgarian, should there be any red flags? Should we be concerned about any of this?
Maybe. That's why I'm sort of concerned. That's why I'm sort of pursuing it. I mean, there is the potential for upside completely, because when Enmax makes a profit, they do pay a dividend that goes into general revenues, and if you grow that, I suppose presumably that could reduce taxes. But if you're not successful in managing it, then you could take on more debt or have problems with operating costs and end up having to subsidize it, which might reduce the amount of dividend that they're able to pay into city coffers. So that's why I think we have to pursue both sides. I'm prepared to hear the argument, and it may be a good idea. We'll find out more by the end of the day today.
Thanks, Danielle. Danielle Smith's show starts at 9:30 this morning on Global News Radio.